When one woman who had already buried her husband sat down next to another woman who had just lost hers, she didn't offer soft words or easy comfort. She looked Samantha Busch in the eyes and told her the truth, even the ugly part of it. That woman was Heather Gibbs. And if her last name sounds familiar, it should. She's part of the Gibbs family that owns Joe Gibbs Racing, one of the biggest teams in all of NASCAR. But the reason her story matters here isn't the racing. It's that Heather knows exactly what Samantha Busch is going through, because she has lived it herself. Let's back up for a second so everyone is on the same page. Kyle Busch passed away on the 21st of May 2026. He was only 41 years old. It happened fast, and it shook the whole racing world. Kyle had been taken to a hospital in North Carolina with what his team first called a severe illness. The day before, he had passed out while testing in a simulator and became unresponsive. Doctors later explained what happened. Kyle had severe pneumonia, and that pneumonia turned into sepsis, which spread through his body with rapid and overwhelming complications. His family asked for privacy and understanding while they tried to deal with a loss that came out of nowhere. For fans, this was hard to accept. Kyle wasn't just any driver. He was a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, winning it all in 2015 and 2019. He racked up 63 Cup wins and 69 Truck Series wins, and 234 wins in total across NASCAR's 3 national series. People called him Rowdy, and his fans called themselves Rowdy Nation. He was the kind of driver you either loved or loved to boo, but nobody ignored him. In fact, before he ever passed away, he had already earned enough votes to be a NASCAR Hall of Famer with the class of 2026. That tells you everything about how much he meant to this sport over 25 years. Now here's where Heather Gibbs comes in. Joe Gibbs Racing and Kyle Busch went way back. They shared a 15-year relationship that produced 2 championships together. So, when Kyle passed, tributes poured in from all over, including from his former teammate Denny Hamlin, but Heather Gibbs did more than send a message. She went to see Samantha in person, just a day or so after Kyle died, and she sat with her. Heather recently opened up about that visit on a podcast. She appeared on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s show, which he hosts with his sister Kelly Earnhardt. A clip of the episode, called Business Motorsports, was shared by Dirty Mo Media, and that's how the world heard what she said. According to Heather, Samantha asked her a simple but heartbreaking question. She basically wanted to know, what's it going to be like? She wanted to know what living through this kind of grief actually feels like. And Heather didn't lie to her. She didn't say it would be fine. She said, "It absolutely sucks. It's awful." She said her heart broke so much just being there. But then she gave Samantha something to hold on to. Heather told her, "Your kids are going to watch you, and you are going to find strength. You are not going to have it on your own." In other words, Samantha's children would be looking to her. And even on the days she felt she had nothing left, strength would come from somewhere bigger than herself. That's when Heather leaned into her faith. She told Samantha, "You have to have a relationship with the Lord. You have to trust Him." She explained it more on the podcast, saying God would carry Samantha even when she was angry. Her words were, "He's going to sustain you no matter how upset you are with Him right now." And she made sure Samantha knew it was okay to be angry, because, as she put it, we were made to have emotions. Here's the part that really stuck with people. Heather described grief as something that comes and goes, not something you get over once and it's done. She said God is going to walk with you through the darkest moments, which we are in right now, and through the highest moments and back through the dark moments. She was telling Samantha the truth. The pain wouldn't be a straight line. It would rise and fall in waves, but it wouldn't last forever, and she wouldn't be walking through it alone. Then Heather gave a warning, spoken from love. She said, "If you don't have that foundation, you are going to be lost. You are going to be bitter and empty." And she added a line that hit hard. "And no one on earth can fulfill that." She was saying no person, no friend, no family member can completely fill the hole a husband leaves behind. Now, the reason those words carry so much weight is because Heather has said them to herself before. Heather Gibbs is a widow too. Her husband was Coy Gibbs, the son of team owner Joe Gibbs. Coy was a former driver who became a top leader at Joe Gibbs Racing, serving as vice chairman and chief operating officer. And the way she lost him was almost too cruel to believe. Back on the 6th of November 2022, the Gibbs family was celebrating one of the happiest nights of their lives. Their son, Ty Gibbs, had just won the NASCAR Xfinity Series championship. They partied, they hugged, they soaked it all in. And then, just hours later, Coy died in his sleep. He never woke up the next morning. Heather described it in her own painful words. She said, "We got to celebrate the most special night, and he didn't wake up the next day. It was obviously awful." And this wasn't even the first blow for the Gibbs family. A few years earlier, in 2019, they had already lost Joe's oldest son, J.D. Gibbs. So in a short span of time, the family lost both sons who were meant to lead the team into the future. So when Heather sat with Samantha, she wasn't guessing about the pain. She had felt the exact same kind of sudden, out-of-nowhere loss. A happy day, and then everything changed overnight. What Heather did after her own tragedy also shows the strength she was trying to pass on. Instead of stepping away, she stepped up. She took on a bigger leadership role at Joe Gibbs Racing and became a co-owner. Part of what pushed her forward was a letter Coy had written, one that showed how much he believed in her. Reading it again meant everything to her. She said, "It was like a blessing to have that, to go back and read it. He believed in me in that area." Since then, Heather has become a real force in the sport. She's been in competition meetings, served on the board of the Race Team Alliance, and taken part in big NASCAR ownership discussions. She turned her grief into purpose. And that's the same road Samantha Busch is walking now. Samantha has chosen to keep going for her children, Brexton and Lennox. She mostly stays out of the public eye, but she stays close to fans on social media, sharing little pieces of her life and thanking everyone for the love they poured out for Rowdy. She still takes her son Brexton to the racetrack so he can chase his own racing dream and keep his dad's legacy alive. Brexton is still racing today. On Father's Day, Samantha posted a heartfelt message for Kyle, honoring him as both a husband and a father. And in her own quiet, strong way, she captured exactly what Heather had been trying to tell her. Grief doesn't stop the world from turning. As Samantha put it, grief doesn't stop parenting. The morning still comes. That line and Heather's words fit together perfectly. Two women both hit by sudden loss, both left to raise children without the men they loved. One of them, a little further down the road, reaching back to help the other take the first painful steps. Heather Gibbs didn't promise Samantha that the hurt would disappear. She promised her something harder and more honest. That the darkness would come in waves, that strength would show up when she least expected it, that her kids would learn how to be brave by watching her, and that even in the worst of it, she would never truly be walking alone.